Hi, hello and welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here then hi, hello, my name's Zoe. Thank you for joining my little channel and viewing my video. Please subscribe, it means so much to me. And before we get into this video, I just want to make a little announcement. I've finally got a schedule for my channel, so I'm going to be posting on Mondays, Thursdays and Saturday and possibly Sunday as well, so around 4 uploads a week. So Mondays and Thursdays are going to be my normal kind of content, so makeup, story times, things like that, and then Saturday and Sundays are going to be dedicated to true crime, different like unsolved murders, missing cases, all things like that. So if you have any suggestions of any cases for me, please let me know down below, and let's get into today's video. So today's video is the case of Mary Flanagan. Now her case is nearly 60 years old. It'll be the 60th anniversary this year. It's Britain's longest missing persons case, unsolved. It still hasn't been solved. Mary Flanagan has been missing for 59 years, and like I've said, this year will be the 60th anniversary. So Mary was 16 years old when she went missing, and she went missing on New Year's Eve in 1958. Mary's case is the oldest on file at the Metropolitan Police and also at the Missing People's Charity. Mary's younger sister Brenda has never ever given up hope. She continues to look for her older sister, and even though Brenda was only 8 years old at the time that Mary went missing, she still remembers everything that has happened on that day and since to a T. She remembers it as if it was yesterday. So most of what I'm talking about is from Brenda's account, but it is the story of what happened. So Mary Flanagan lived at home with her parents. Her mother was also called Mary and her father was called Barry, and she also lived with her siblings as well. They lived in a 4th floor flat in West Ham, and Mary shared a bedroom with her 2 younger sisters, Brenda and Arlene. So Mary was described as a bubbly, lively, very out there type of person. She was a really lovely girl. So on the morning of New Year's Eve 1958, Mary decided that she was going to sleep in. She decided she didn't want to go to work, so she decided to have a lie-in the morning. She wasn't going to attend work, so what better things did she have to do? And then later on in the day, she decided she wanted to go to work. She changed her mind because at work they was holding an annual New Year's Eve party, which is something they did all the time, and Mary really wanted to go to this New Year's Eve party, but in order to go to the party she had to attend work. So at about 1 PM Mary set off for work, everything as normal, but then she kissed all her family. She gave all her family a goodbye kiss and then left. And Brenda remembers saying that this was really unusual for Mary. She wouldn't normally do that, but it didn't spark anything in any of the family's minds. They thought maybe she's just in a good mood, you know, excited for a party, give everybody a kiss, and then left. So yeah, she left the family home around 1 PM on New Year's Eve 1958. So New Year's Day comes around, Mary isn't home, and her parents, Mary and Barry, start to get a little worried and start to wonder what's happening. So they go into Mary's work, obviously to check up on her, to check she attended, and also find out where she went, find out who she left with after the party, just to try and find out what was going on. Because back then obviously there wasn't mobile phones like there is now, there wasn't social media, so it wasn't that easy just to find out where your relative have gone. Maybe they've gone with a friend, maybe they left in a taxi, you just wouldn't know. So when they got to Mary's work, they were shocked to find out that Mary hadn't been attending work, and she didn't attend yesterday, and she hadn't attended for 2 weeks. She hadn't turned in for 1 shift at work, and this obviously worried her mother and father, because Mary had been getting up and setting off to work every single day as if she was going into work and then returning home and talking about being at work. So it really sparked some confusion inside her parents, because they just didn't know what was going on, because it was really unusual behaviour for Mary. So because everything wasn't looking right and it was all unusual for Mary's character, her parents decided to let the police know and report their daughter as a missing person. And now, 60 years later, and her family still have no idea where Mary is. They're still no closer to finding Mary, and unfortunately her parents have since passed away, and it's really heartbreaking that they didn't find out what happened to their daughter, whether she be dead or alive. before they died. They just didn't have a clue what happened. So the family obviously don't know very much about Mary's disappearance, and there isn't a lot to go on at all. All they have to go off is notable events that happened before Mary's disappearance. So before her disappearance, Mary was engaged to an Irishman called Tom, and he had told the family that was working at sea. It was Mary's father who in fact introduced Mary to Tom a year before this. So unfortunately, by December 30th, 1958, Mary and Tom had split up. Now, the family recalls that Mary had found out that Tom had lied to her. He had told Mary that he was living on his own, he had his own place, you know, ran by a landlady, and then she later discovered that he was still living at home with her parents, so she decided to split up with him. Now, I don't know why she made that decision. Maybe he wasn't up to her expectations, but that was her decision to make. But later on that evening, Arlene recalls Mary arguing with their father. The father didn't approve of the fact that Mary had split up with Tom. He wanted them to be together and be engaged and obviously get married. Her parents obviously really were fond of Tom and thought he was the perfect one for Mary. So after this argument, Mary went off to bed and obviously was very upset. Her sisters said that she was visibly upset, in tears, and that's how she went to sleep. So when Mary had disappeared, Tom spent the first few months of the 1960s looking for Mary. He was actively searching for her, helping the family out with everything. But then after a few months it just kind of stopped and he just kind of disappeared and had no more contact with the family, which was quite weird. The family didn't understand why he did that. Brenda stated that they didn't think that Tom had anything to do with it, but they wanted to know why he just gave up the search, because that just made them suspicious of him. And also to this day they don't even know his last name. None of them can remember his last name. Obviously they was all very young when this happened to Mary, so they don't have recollection of that. So to this day they don't know who he is. He's just a mysterious man. They don't know who he is and haven't had contact with him. So in 1994 Mary's case was passed over to Missing People, which is a nationwide organisation in helping families reunite with vulnerable people. The charity has worked with thousands of people, and it's this charity that has created the age progression picture of Mary, which I'll put on the screen now. So a lot of people have their theories and have speculated about Mary's disappearance. A lot of people have said Mary could have been pregnant and that's why she ran away, because she wasn't married. Obviously back then it was, you know, very traditional, so a lot of people suspect that that could have happened. But also a lot of people suspect that it could have been one of Mary's neighbours that have done this, because she had a dislike to one of the neighbours, which hasn't been named, so I'm assuming it's nothing to do with the case, because I think we'd know more about that. But I'm assuming the police have looked into him, but they said Mary just disliked him, so obviously that caused some suspicion as well. So in 2003, police decided to reactivate Mary's case. Unfortunately, the papers with all the information of Mary's case were destroyed or disappeared. They're not too sure what happened to them when there was a flood at the police station where the notes were being held. So police investigators have DNA tested over 100 unidentified bodies in the search for Mary, and unfortunately none of them are a match. None of them are Mary. So the last few years there has been a lot of sightings, but none of them have been any leads. None of them have created any information or anything like that, up until summer 2016, when Brenda got a phone call from the Edinburgh police letting her know that a lady had walked into a police station. Now I don't know what police station or what area this was, but she walked into the police station and she had a shocking resemblance for Mary's age progression photo, and she stated that she had no recollection, no knowledge of Mary Flanagan, and she said, and I quote, "I'm independent, I can look after myself." And the next day she was gone. There was nobody could find this woman. Nobody had no details of this woman, who she was or anything like that. That was just it. So who knows, that could have been Mary, but she just wasn't willing to let her family know. and that's why she said she had no recollection of her. Who knows? So there has been no leads since. There's been no information on this case since 2016, when the lady walked into the police station. And I found a quote from Brenda which was quite heartbreaking, and it was quite upsetting. She says, "We cannot grieve because we don't know if we should do. We hope one day we will be together again, but time is running out for us." Now that is quite heartbreaking, because the parents have already died without knowing where Mary is. Family are all older now, so it's one of them. It's been 60 years. They must be feeling so much heartache, because they can't rest. They don't know whether Mary's dead or alive, and all they want to do is find Mary. So obviously I've inserted pictures as much as I can through here, so if anybody has any information, or any family members, maybe your nan or granddad mentioned something about this, maybe they know Mary from the West Ham area, or maybe your granddad's Tom and has more information. I know it seems far-fetched, but you just never know these days. So if anybody has any information or wants more information, if anybody has any information that they think could be useful, please contact Missing People. Their website is missingpeople.org.uk. I'll link that down below, or you can ring the number 116000. Missing People are an amazing charity. They have options on their website for if you're a missing person yourself and you just want to let your family know you're okay, but you don't necessarily want to go home. You can do that, and it's helping people find their relatives. And I know that a lot of people have been reunited through this, but there has been a lot of unsolved cases, so please support them as well. You can donate. I'm not telling you to, that's not what I'm doing, but you know, please be active on their social media, retweeting their tweets, so then we can get these cases out there, because it's so heartbreaking that this case has been left for 60 years and their family just still don't have a clue what's happened. So I'll link all the details to the Missing People charity down below. I'll link any other details you need for Mary's case, and that is all for this video. So like I said at the beginning of the video, I'm going to be posting on Mondays, Thursdays, Saturdays and Sundays. And Mondays and Thursdays are going to be lifestyle, story time videos, all sorts of videos like that, makeup. And Saturday and Sunday are going to be dedicated to missing people's cases, unsolved mysteries, murder cases, things like that. So if that's something you're interested in, please subscribe, turn that bell on so you know when I post. So please share this video on Facebook, on Instagram, on Snapchat, anything, just in case anybody knows anything for Mary's family, in case they know any details, because it just must be horrible going all that time and not knowing what's happened. So that is it for this video. Please give it a big thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already, and I shall see you in my next video. Bye.